What's up, guys? How are you? How is your day? Happy New Year's Eve. Yes, the answer is yes. We're going to be doing some reads today, some 2026 reads. There's only a few spots each day that I'm doing these. I may add some more into the first week of January. I don't know yet. So we're just going to wait and see how my next week goes. But before I do that, I've got a couple of things I've got to take care of real quick. So we're just going to do some chit chat talking while TikTok decides that I'm live. I'm not quite sure what's going on over there. So we're just going to pretend that everything's okay. But I've got a couple of things that I need to get done real quick. One of those is that I've had a lot of requests for the fuck migraines, tea, oil, and so on, and a lot of requests for the fuck getting sick, one of my flagship signature recipes. So I have those things going back up on the site. I have new batches of them made and ready to go. So I'm going to get that up there right now. But for some reason, Wix is making it very hard for me to just like put those things back up. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now. Because I don't know about y'all, but I have had one of the nastiest headaches today, and it's just absolutely stupid. It's just absolutely stupid, and I'm so sick of it. One of Bodhi's what are those things called? Pressure points. There's another term for them. I hate when my brain hurts. I put all ingredients are skin safe and SAS tested and approved. So if you guys don't know, I designed this oil. SAS was at the shop, and it was when we were in the middle of opening everything, like the brand new thing, right? And man, we had been painting for like, I swear, 3 days straight. And both of us had nasty headaches. Both of us were like barely functioning. And she said, dude, you have all this shit. Why can't you make something to fix it? And I went over and just kind of whipped up this headache oil, put it in a roller. I was like, put it on. It goes right here and right here. And it has been one of my flagship items ever since. It's been one of my flagship items since 2022. I took it off the site. I actually took all the products off the site over the last, year. But I have had so many people asking about it. So many people asking about it. I don't know what this is, what size this is. So we're just going to put that right there like that. I'm going to try to keep the price the same as it's been. I'm going to try to keep the price the same as it's been. So the Fuck Migraines tea, the Fuck Migraines bath soak, and the Fuck Migraines oil and a balm are all up there now for you guys to order. So for those of you guys that have been asking, I got you. I got you. There's also a sugar scrub, and I don't know why it's not on here. Like, it's just gone. So, I will get that up. I will get that up. Let's see here. I'm fucking sick tea. There we go. I also have a fuck getting sick simmer pot, and it's not on here either, and I'm starting to just lose my shit, but it's alright. It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. So, let's go ahead and get reads done today, yeah? Let's do that. The answer is yes. I love that nothing wants to, I don't know what just happened there. I love that nothing wants to work nicely for me today. So, for those of you guys that are on my list for today, you do not have to be present for these. I'll be doing these over the next week, really. Let me get this up here on my link tree. And, yeah. Yeah, no filter. I had taken everything off and then just fixed it. So, yeah, there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. Okay. All right. It's so weird. This is so weird. So weird to say 2026, isn't it? Just saying, it's so nice. It's so nice. This is your reminder that if you can't be nice, you can go ahead and just kick all the rocks somewhere else. Just saying. Just saying. I am not in the mood for it today. Today is the day and I am the one. And I feel like this is also a good time to remind you that just because you hide behind a troll name with troll energy and really shitty troll comments that are circa 1992 doesn't mean that we can't reach out and trust you as witches. Just saying what I'm saying. So you're putting your energy into trolling comments. You're putting your energy into a troll name. And you caught the right one today. Let me just say that. So my mods will 100% screenshot your account, screenshot your little trolley comment, and every time something shit happens, you'll think of me. Every time you see frogs randomly, you'll think of me. I see you, babe. Enjoy. Because I do have jars to make tomorrow, and I'm just saying what I'm saying. Just saying what I'm saying. All right, so we got that on there. And then there are some coupon codes, so let's fix that. What is today? It's so weird to say 2026. there. All right, we're also going to put the thing for the timeline reads up tonight before I forget that. I don't know why you guys all love the clicky clicks of the typing, but I love it. But I love it. Oh, I'm glad, Buffy. Thank you so much. I'm glad. So, yeah. ASMR. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I am finishing up a book, so maybe I need to be on just typing book. Yeah? Type in the book. Because it's a lot. All right. Here we go. So I know that a lot of you guys are really, really sick. I know that the flu junk crap is going around. I know that there are a lot, let me just say, a lot of just different things that are going around. Y'all make sure that you're taking care of you. Seriously. Y'all make sure that you're taking care of you. If you are a spiritual person, even if you're not and you're just randomly listening, you need to be burning some type of sage in your house on a daily basis. Not even for spiritual purposes. And before everybody flips out, I said some type of sage, okay? Calm the fuck down. There are like over 300 types of sage. Almost every single type of sage, when you burn it in your home, it has to be burnt, unfortunately. When you burn it in your home, it destroys the viruses and the bacteria in the air. So being that everybody has been around everybody for holidays, you need to be burning this shit. Period. Doesn't matter what kind it is. I'm also going to let you know this. The white sage that everybody freaks out about is actually Greek sage because it's invasive, and that's what is usually grown by all of the wholesalers and put together. It is a type of white sage, but it is native to Europe, and it takes over like wildfire. You guys can Google all of this. I've had this debate with people for years, so before people freak out. But Greek sage is actually invasive, and it will take over an area. So the vast majority of white sage that you see is Greek sage. The other thing, too, is that every single metaphysical shop that's out there, mine included, we order from the same few wholesalers that carry spiritual shit. So if you're buying from me, if you're buying from so-and-so down the road or so-and-so at Love's Truck Stop, we all buy from the same wholesalers. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Just saying what I'm saying. Now, if you buy artisan sage bundles from somewhere, that's a little different. If it's hand gathered, that's a little different. And it's obvious if it's hand gathered versus machine gathered. Just saying. But yeah, you guys can look that up on Google. Burning sage, they have found, reduces and clears out the air of viruses, bacteria, etc. in your home for up to 24 hours. I have been burning it on the daily. In the shop, in any place where I have people coming in a lot, I am burning it daily because we all know that some people can't keep their germs to themselves. So y'all should be doing that too, especially if you have kids that are going to school, because you know they're fixing to go back to school next week, and everybody's going to be bringing all of that crap back home. Alrighty then. So we're going to go ahead and get on today's reads. There are still a few spots left. Then there are some more spots for January 1st and January 2nd. And if you haven't gotten on the list yet, there are like 10 spots a day. That's it. Oh, I think there are 13 on the weekend, but there's not a lot. So just saying. Just saying. If you guys need to get on that list, do so. So here we go. So the first person on my list is Josh Thompson. These reads are not like some in-depth massive view of every bit of your 2026. Somebody asked last night if these were the same thing as the astrological reports. No, This is a read of, and I am going to ask you a question. Like when you go to check out to get a reading, one of these reads, it does say, what's your question for 2026? Like, what do you need to know? And if it's just something like, what does it have in store for me? Don't stress about that, because, I mean, that's obviously a question. What the astrological ones are, and I have taken those off the site because I am overwhelmed getting those done. What the astrological ones are is me pulling your birth chart and looking at every single month next year according to your specific birth chart. It's much different than this. So, yeah. And y'all are getting dirty Bodhi glasses. Y'all are getting Bodhi with the glasses today because migraines are fun. Migraines are stupid. Migraines are stupid. I even had to bust out some medicine, some of my migraine medicine earlier. That was fun. That was fun. All right. So Josh Thompson is first. So here we go. What does 2026 have in store for me? Okay. I like that you included a lot of numerology and like personal things in that. So that helps. So 8s and 9s are a big thing. Okay. You got it. Well, you had a ton of cards trying to come out, so that tells me that this is, for those of you guys that have never watched me read, let me say this. I've been reading professionally for a very, very long time, since 2012. And when I say professionally, I'll just go through my little spiel. When I say professionally, I mean spiel, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I mean like for massive websites like Purple Ocean and so on. Not, I did my time sitting in shops, don't think I didn't. But, yeah, so I have been doing this a very, very long time. I'm very connected with the cards I have. You guys will notice that I tend to use the same decks over and over for specific things. But I pay very close attention to the way that my card decks shuffle. And the fact that that was a lot of cards that kept trying to come out, Josh, that tells me that this is a lot this year. And I don't know if this is going to be a lot and there are a lot of decisions that you need to make, or there are a lot of opportunities coming your way, or just because it's overwhelming. But I'm just saying. So you start off, this is funny, and this is where I say you can't make this shit up. So we start off with the Keeper of the Crossroads. I'm going to turn that off so I can actually like see the comments over here on YouTube. The Keeper of the Crossroads. So this is transition, it's restlessness, it's focus, it's change, it's everything I just said. There's a lot of things going on. The Keeper of the Crossroads is where you stand at the threshold of how many different directions can you go. It's also you looking at your own independence, you appraising everything that has gone before in 2025, you paying very, very close attention to all of the things that you've learned in the year of the snake and processing it. Because y'all can learn a crazy amount of stuff. We all can. Okay, let me just not say y'all. You can learn a crazy amount of stuff and know that it's in there and know that you now have this knowledge. But processing it is something different. And unfortunately, in the world today, we feel like we have to be human computers and we have to be able to process that stuff as fast as it comes in. Well, that's not the case, right? You have to take some time to process that stuff. And so that's what I think is going on, Josh. This first part of 2026 is you processing. I'm going to turn this card over, and of course, it's rebirth. Of course, it's rebirth because you have restlessness, independence, the crossroads, the Keeper of the Crossroads. I also find it very interesting that the Keeper of the Crossroads on this card has a like headdress on, and if you notice, it matches very closely with the rebirth card right there. I'm just saying. I feel like I need to also point out the skulls on this. Even though the Keeper of the Crossroads on this particular deck is not wearing a skull, it looks very similar to a Cyclops skull. But then you have rebirth. A lot of people that are in your life that know you personally, they're not going to dig this rebirth, Josh. They aren't. They're not going to dig this rebirth. They're not going to be super happy about it. In fact, they're probably going to throw a fit about it, because rebirth for Josh means that you're appraising not only you and where you're going and what you're going towards, but you're also appraising how everybody else has been for you. How everybody else has been for you. And that means that there are going to be some people that you're going to realize they are not good for you. They are either toxic, they're using you, whatever it is. But they're doing whatever they can to ensure that you stay stuck so they can continue to take advantage, whether they're doing it on purpose or not. They're not going to like this rebirth. Then you have El Shaddai, which is wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. You can't make this up. This is the fucking wisdom card. You pulled the wisdom card for 2 decks. And it's not like I pulled this and then pulled this. You can't make this shit up. This is not only a lot of you paying attention to the things that you've learned last year, but you having a lot of epiphany moments. These epiphany moments are going to be in the form of those times when you're like just watching a video or listening to something, an audiobook or something, and have to pause and be like, wait, what? What did you say? What? That is what this means. This is you realizing that you already have all the wisdom you need to move forward right now. This is you realizing that as hard and as shitty as 2025 was for you, that all of the things you learned in the year of the snake are really, really intense things that you need to move yourself forward from here. I have a feeling that probably these last couple weeks have really been intense for you with the full moon, the new moon, everything kind of getting sorted out and you planning everything from what you're going to do with your 2026. I would also bet that there have been a lot of things that have popped up that have already started hitting you, like I said, with holy shit, what did you say? Wait, what? A lot of things that are coming to your doorstep that you didn't even realize needed to be on your doorstep. I'm going to look at these last 2 cards, and we're going to go from there. This is the Martyr, and this is honesty, shame, and restitution. And then you have resilience. Okay. So what this tells me, Josh, remember at the beginning when I said, okay, this is a lot of cards, and this is a lot of movement, and I don't know if this is an overwhelming, like you need to learn this stuff or not, or whatever. 2026 is going to be an intense year. So you want to know what it has in store for you. Also, I feel like I need to point out that your very middle card in this has an octopus on it, which has 8 legs. And you specifically mentioned that 8s and 9s have been appearing everywhere. I want to make sure also that the very first card here, make sure I point this out, the very first card here, this thing he's riding on, bug thing, whatever, with a human face, creepy as fuck, has 9 legs. So you wanted 8s and 9s. I think that's very interesting. Nothing else. I mean, there's a fox with 4 legs. Nothing else really has something that points out like that. But I think that 2026 is going to bring you movement. It's going to bring you movement in a very wisdom forged type of way. And I think that this is something that's going to be very different than what you're used to. Especially as far as life has been up to this point. I think that there was a major shift with you in September, late September last year, early October, and it has changed you to the point that you aren't able to function in normal Josh mode like you have been functioning up till now. I think that there's also a lot of things that as you go through 2026, this is a lot of you getting back to your own security. This is a lot of, it's funny, I don't think I need to talk about finances at all because I don't feel like a lot of this is finance. I feel like a lot of this is within you and up here. Like this is a lot of Josh realizing who Josh actually is. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, well, you know, like everybody says that and blah, blah, blah. But until you go through that, you don't understand how intense that is. Until you go through this period of trying to understand your own self. This is not just shadow work. It's not just spiritual stuff. It's not just higher learning. It's not just that. It's an intense period of understanding yourself. You can't explain it to anybody. And Josh, I think that you're already in the midst of this. I think this started, like I said, late last September. And I think that it's kind of been snowballing. So 2026 is the year of Josh. 2026 is the year of Josh. This is the year of you really and truly finding out who you are, why you're here, and what it is you want to be doing. And I heard somebody the other day, I was just kind of scrolling through TikTok while I was waiting on a video to load. And there was somebody on there, and I've heard this throughout my life. And it always finds me at a time when I really, really needed to hear it. And hopefully it'll find you and whoever's listening right now at a time when you really need to hear it. And that is, go for the things. Go for the things. Go be epic. Go do crazy shit. You're going to find people that say, oh, you only get one life. And then other people, well, you get multiple lives because of reincarnation. I'm in the middle of that. You only have this meat sack in this time frame right now, right? Are you going to have other lives? I do believe in reincarnation. Are you going to have other lives to do other shit? Of course you are. But you only have this one meat sack in this time right now. Don't be boring. Go do epic shit. Josh, go do epic shit. All the things that you've been holding yourself back from, stop it. Stop it. Go do epic shit. Okay? You want to travel? Go travel. You want to write a book? Write a book. You want to go to Hollywood? Do you see what I'm saying? Do the things that make you feel just a little bit crazy, but super powerful at the same time. Okay? I'm serious. I'm serious. You don't get that time back. Go do it. Go do the crazy things, Josh. There is the undercurrent of a lot of honesty here. Being honest with yourself. Being honest with the people around you. And letting go of a lot of things in your life. So be prepared this year to cut a lot of people off. Be prepared this year to let go of a lot of people and situations and things that you have known for a while you need to get rid of. And know that where you want to go is not for anyone else but you. Don't let anyone make you feel like you need to not do something just because they want you to continue doing whatever you've been doing for them. Okay, Josh? Just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. 2026 is going to be a fantastic year for you, my friend. A fantastic year for you. All right, Aiden is next. Boy, y'all have... Wait a minute here. Hold on. Y'all have started flooding my list. I'm not mad about it. So I have to pay attention that Kelly Bridges got one for the first. So you'll be first on the first, Miss Kelly. But yeah, there are still a handful of tickets for today. Just saying, there's a handful of tickets for today. So Aiden is next. Aiden, I feel like that's crazy. Let's not do that. I feel like your reading today is going to hit a lot of people in the feelers. Just saying what I'm saying. Just saying what I'm saying, Aiden. And I am going to read not everything that you guys write as far as, you know, what's your question, but I am going to read like the overall question, the overall theme. And a lot of you, when I read Aiden's question, are going to feel this on a deep level and your little ears are going to perk up. The fact that I can't get these cards to pull tells me that you are struggling like crazy right now. All right. Garrett said, I told you about my trip to Denmark and Sweden, and since then I've been longing for it. I need to live there. Just saying. I'm just saying. So Aiden's question is, will I finally be enough? See, look, even Bear agrees. You have the Maestro, which is ingenuity and understanding. It's also a lot of commitment. It's a lot of... Thank you, Bear. The Maestro is somebody that conducts the orchestra. The Maestro is someone that is in charge of so many different moving pieces. If y'all have never been a part of band, of orchestra, symphony, etc., go and look at, just quickly, a sheet of music for a symphony, right? You have so many different instruments. Let's just say that there are 30 different instruments in that orchestra. Each one of those instruments could have anywhere from 2 to 6 variations of it. So like just saying clarinet is, there's 3 or 4 different variations of clarinet. There's the flute and the piccolo. There's the trumpet and the cornet, and then the French horn. And then, you know, like there's so many different variations. So 30 different pieces of music might split into 90. And one person is in charge of all of that, the conductor, the maestro. So having that card come out the very first one in your read, Aiden, especially when you're asking, you know, is this the year I'm going to be good enough? Before I turn any of these other cards over, I'm going to say 2 things. 1, I think that you have always been good enough, but you try to juggle too many things at one time. And 2, you are trying to be good enough for people that don't really see you. All they see is the music on the page. They're not looking at you. They're looking at the music on the page. The next card is good fortune. So, I mean, the short answer to your question is yes. And then you have what I just was talking about. This is the caretaker of the lost. Rest, assistance, memory. And then you have equilibrium. I love these cards today, and you can't make this shit up. And the last card you have is the Lady of Masks, and this is reclaiming one's self. Really just me telling you what the cards are gives you your answer. But let me go ahead and interpret a lot of this for you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Aiden. 2026 is the year of the horse, right? It doesn't start until February. The Chinese New Year doesn't start until February. But we're coming out of the year of the snake. You still have the year of the snake energy here in January. And this is still a lot of wisdom. This is a lot of ingenuity. This is a lot of understanding. This is a lot of learning still coming your way. And I want you to think of this January as like your senior year in college, right? 2025 was split into several different areas for you, right? You went through like the sophomore, the freshman, the sophomore, the junior aspect. You're coming out of the junior aspect and fixing to do your thesis so you can graduate. Your thesis is going to be very interesting because it's going to be a lot of aspects of how you have looked at things over the last year. How this wisdom, how the year of the snake, how you shedding the skin that was Aiden back there, how that is really going to affect you going forward. One of the things that I love so much about college is that when you first start college, it's because you want to be there to have a better life. Not just because the state, the federal government, whatever, tells you you have to go to school, right? So you're there to be more. That's the underlying thing. Not, I want to be a doctor, I want to be this, I want to be an engineer, it's not that. You're there to be more. So when you go in as a freshman, it's also freedom, right? It's also freedom because this is like the first time you've been away from home and things like that. So it's freedom. It's you finally growing up and being who you want to be. And then as you start moving through and you start finding classes that you love and knowledge rabbit holes to go down, you really start paying attention to the world around you. When you hit that junior level, though, you get tired. I'm not going to lie. You get tired because this is a little bit past the middle mark, right? It's a lot of intense learning. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time that you have to spend pouring into this stuff. And you have to remind yourself repeatedly your junior year of high school or of college. You have to remind yourself repeatedly, like, I am doing this to be more. I am doing this to be more. I am doing this to be more. Like, you have to continually, like, keep that motivation up. And I feel like that's where the last part of 2025 has been for you, Aiden. You've been reminding yourself, like, I'm doing this to be more. I'm doing this to be better. I'm doing this to be more. Like, you keep having to push your own motivation forward. Kick the can down the road. The other thing is you're fixing to step into the threshold of that senior aspect of this year of the snake. This is a lot of really refining all of the things that you have learned. This is a lot of you really hardcore paying attention to all of the things that you've been shoving in your brain this last year. The caretaker of the lost. I want to talk about that. I think that as you kind of go through January and you see this thesis coming out, remember when I said before I turn these cards over that I feel like you are trying to be good enough for people that are only looking at the music? One of the things that you guys all will realize at some point in your life is that everybody has their own shit that they're doing, and the vast majority of the time they don't care about your shit. If they're caring or over caring about your shit and they're not like a parent, a significant other, like a sibling, like somebody that is super close to you, if they are over caring about your shit, then it tells me that their own shit is falling apart. Everybody needs to mind their own shit. Because if you are minding your own shit and making sure that your own shit is good, then you don't have time to worry about other people's shit, right? The other thing I want you to remember, Aiden, is their path is not your path. Your path is not their path. You have to be able to do the things that make Aiden. So the caretaker of the lost and equilibrium coming out together, that is you really taking a hardcore look at who it is you're trying to be enough for. And I'm just going to say this. A lot of people spend their entire lives trying to be good enough for people that don't matter. And I know some of you guys are like, well, what if it's my dad or my mom or whatever? If your parents have ever made you feel like you're not good enough, then that's a them problem. And it's not something you should ever be trying to do. It's not something you should ever be trying to take care of. A lot of times when we're growing up, we see other siblings, kids, cousins, friends, etc. treated better than we are. All of us see that. It's not confined to one specific person or one group of people. Everybody sees that. You see people treated better than you, and you see people treated worse than you. But when you see people that you care about that are treated better than you, suddenly you want to do that, right? If you were to see your parents treating a sibling much better than you got treated, then suddenly you want to be that sibling, right? You want to do those things. And the problem is that's not an us problem. That is a failure, right? There's a lot of moving parts with things, and that's a failure. Aiden, I think that 2026 is the year that you see that those things were not failures on your part. And this is the year that you get your equilibrium back as who you are. And I have a feeling that when this happens, this is not just a, you know, oh my God, I'm free to go run in the wild. That's not what this is. This is an intense, massive shift inside of you. And it's going to be one of those things where it happens like this. No one can predict when this happens. It just happens. You just have this epiphany moment where you feel like your mind kind of expands a little bit and you go, oh my God. I've been trying to do this and this and this when I didn't need to at all. And that's where this comes in. And this is the reclaiming of who you are, Aiden. The Lady of Masks is an interesting card, especially with this question to end this reading on, because this is reclaiming you. This is surface appearance. This is vanity, etc. I don't think that it's going to be that you're going to go out and completely change the way you look physically and all that. I mean, you could, you can go for it. I'm here for it. I'll help you go shopping. But this is you finally letting all of those masks off. And it's really hard. And I think that probably starting in the summer, maybe late May, early June, there's going to be a lot of times that you're going to let your masks just drop. And when people see that, they're going to think one of two things. A, oh my God, what's wrong? And B, thank all the gods that you decided to be who you are. No one can make you do this, Aiden, and you can't force this timeline. But I think 2026 is a year that you get your equilibrium back. You get yourself finally to yourself. Because I don't feel like you've ever had yourself to get it back. Does that make sense? So this is the year you finally get yourself to yourself. When that happens, this is for all of you. When that happens, it's intense and it's a lot, and it's one of those things where you really have to pay attention, because you end up getting so used to spending time alone and just discovering who you are that it can be almost impossible to go back to being in the normal state of everything with family, friends, etc. I'm not saying that you have to do it to keep up appearances, but I'm saying that you never know how much you are interconnected with people in your life. I'm going to turn my fan on because it's actually warm in here. That or I'm having a hot flash, but that could be too. That could be too. That could be too. So, all right. Natalia's next. What's in store? The past few years have been so hard, and I just want to be prepared for whatever is next. Okay. All right then. There we go. Like, that was a very weird shuffle. Sorry, my phone's going off over here and I'm trying to not let it go off. All right. We ready, Natalia? You start off with Hathor. So this is meditation and culture and communication. And this is a very interesting Egyptian deity, basically the goddess of the party. So kind of seeing that as your first card in this read when you asked what 2026 had in store, because the last few years have been really bad. Am I going to say that it's a party year for you? Possibly. But this is definitely not one of those downtrodden super hard years. And then you have defense. Okay. This is a year where you have to really pay attention to what it is that you are defending. And I want you to let that sink in a minute. And I want everyone to let that sink in just a minute. We go through phases in our lives where we have to defend different things, right? You're defending who you are. You're defending your kids. You're defending your family. You're defending your home. You're defending your way of thinking. You're defending this or this or this or this or this. And this is throughout our entire life, okay? Like, I'm sure that some of y'all defended your favorite Pokemon when you were younger, or, you know, your favorite cartoon when you were younger, or whatever, you know, like fists up on the playground, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a physical thing, and sometimes it is you defending you to you. Does that make sense? I think that this year is not so much the hardships that have been happening over the last, well, few years for you, but specifically the last 6 to 8 months. Instead, this is you learning how to be happy again. Seeing Hathor right there with the meditation and culture and so on, my advice this year is that you should get out and do things. And I don't mean like go party every night. I mean go to museums, go hiking, go do things like that. Go see some art exhibits. Because the fact that Hathor is culture, that's a lot of you learning about the world. Not just you and not just where you came from, but you learning about the world. When you open up your eyes and you see different aspects, different points of view, different places from other people's eyes, you start to realize how much the world looks different to everyone. And I think that that's what this year is for you. But pay attention to what it is you're defending and why you're defending it this year. You're going to probably start off this year with having a lot of things pop up that you've had to defend already. And you might just look at it and be like, why am I defending this thing if I really don't care? Or why am I defending this thing if I don't believe this? You see what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of things that you're wanting to pay attention with. Why are you defending that particular thing, thought process, item, person, etc.? Then you have the Poet of Avalon. Girl, this is going to be such a good year for you. You start off with Hathor, and then you have the Poet of Avalon, which is fame and pride and stagnation. I don't see anything about stagnation so far. Yeah, and then you have balanced emotions. This is going to be such a fantastic year for you. I'm going to go ahead and turn the last card over because I need one more. I need to see one more thing. Okay, Genie the Maid. This is humility. It is the champion, and it's also disillusionment. But like I said, I don't see the disillusionment here, and I don't see the stagnation here. First of all, this is such a fantastic year for you. I think that there's going to be a lot of amazing windfalls that come your way. I think that there's going to be a lot of different things that come into your path that really and truly allow you to broaden your own mind, but not just broaden your own mind. Let go, like I said, the things that you've been defending up to this point that you either don't believe in, you don't care about, etc. The balanced emotions. This is also going to be a year when you start to realize that all of the hard work that you put in and shadow work over the last couple of years, are really getting to the point where something happens and you don't react, and then later you're like, oh my God, I'm an adult. Like, I didn't react, I didn't snap, I didn't whatever. There's going to be a lot of times this year where you walk away from people, from situations, from some little shitty comment or whatever it is. You're going to walk away from a lot of stuff because all of this crazy shadow work you've done where, and this wasn't, I feel like with you, this wasn't just a little shadow work that you did out of a workbook, right? This was somebody threw you in the deep black water and you had to figure out which way was up type of shadow work. I feel like all of this was such an intense year for you to even attempt to learn about yourself that you just kept like, y'all ever see videos or in person where there's like a bucket or a milk jug floating in the ocean or floating on water and it's just getting beat up against the side like this? It's getting beat up against the dock or a pier or something. It's just beat like that. I feel like that's what happened this year, Aiden. Like you didn't even have time to process from one thing. Not Aiden, sorry, Natalia. You didn't have time to process from one thing before something else hit you. And it just kept on doing this to the point that at the end of the year, you were just letting the waves smack you against the wall because why fight it? I mean, it's just going to happen again, right? That's a lot of intense learning. Just letting go and being like, you know what? This is what's going to happen. Fine. That's a lot of intensive learning, my friend. This year is going to be a lot of you seeing where all of those balanced emotions lie, where all of those balanced things finally have sat, where all of that shadow work has let go of things that were shackles around your legs. And again, this brings me back to that defense. It's going to show you all these different things that you have been defending, like crazily defending, that you don't believe in, you don't care about anymore. What I love is that the end of this, the card that ends this whole line for you is Genie the Maid, and this is the Champion. I think that this is going to be a complete Phoenix year for you in a way that people aren't going to really see from the outside, but you're going to know it from the inside. And I think at this time next year, when you look back, you're going to look at all the different things that changed with you and be utterly amazed that you ever felt any different. My friend, I think that this is a phenomenal year for you, and I'm going to reiterate that you need to get out and do things that you have never done. Start small. You know what I mean? Start small. Start free. Start small. Go hiking somewhere you've never been. Go to a museum that has a free day for you to go in and look at things. You know what I mean? Like, start doing those things. That's going to open your eyes to a lot of this stuff. But I also want to reiterate the Poet of Avalon right here, because that is fame and pride and so on. And I think that that's a good... I think your 2026 is going to be absolutely fantastic, Natalia. I'm just saying. Absolutely and utterly fantastic. Just saying what I'm saying. All right, let's see who is next on my list here. Miss Cindy. Cindy just wants to know what's up, what's happening, what's going on. I got you. I just realized that I have 4 drinks today. Because you can't have just one. Can't finish one until you finish 3 others, right? No, that's a lot. A lot. Cindy, I keep trying to just get literally one. I don't know how many flipped over right there. 2. All right. So when I have a lot of things that are coming up in a deck, this is what I've learned about my decks. When I have a lot of things that are coming up in the decks like that, one of the things that it tells me, it's a lot. It's a lot of things, right? That's almost an overwhelming amount of things. When I have cards flip over in the deck, that tells me that you're being stubborn and the universe has been trying to give you this message repeatedly. And either you hear it and you're like, I know, and then don't do it, or you're letting it just zoom right over the top of your head. I can see these 2 cards because they flipped up in the deck, and I think we're going to start with them before I turn anything else over, because apparently these were super, super important. And it's very interesting in that you have let go, and then eternal charisma is under it. And I want you to notice that there are roses on both of these cards, okay? But eternal charisma is underneath of let go. Cindy, let go of trying to, let me figure the right words to words this correctly with words. You need to let go of trying to be the diplomat for everybody. You need to let go of trying to be trying to play the part. Does that make sense? I feel like, especially with the eternal charisma, that card particularly represents being gracious and kind all the time. Everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to be around you. And it can be a great thing. However, when you really are trying to be everything for everybody, you take on so many different hats. You get to the point that you're switching hats without even letting one sit down on your head before you take it off and you're putting another one on. I think that this has been your MO for a long time, and that you have been really attempting to push forward, trying to still be everything, all the things for everybody. At some point, you have to take off all of these hats and just be. You don't have to be Cindy. You don't have to be someone else. Just be. Because in trying to put on all these hats, you get exhausted. And trying to be everything for everybody all the time right now, you get exhausted. And that tells me that you are at a point where exhaustion is a thing. On a daily basis, you're struggling against it. Just let go. Okay? Just let go. And now we're going to start. You have Nyx, which is secrets and subterfuge and respite. Vigilance. And then you have karmic justice. Karmic justice. I always found this interesting, that I know this is a Buddhist symbol up there, but the fact that it looks like a radioactive thing just cracks me up. And then you also have Hathor, which is communication, meditation, and culture. Sorry, I'm noticing the bug symbolism here because karmic justice caught my eye, and that there are 2 there are 2 beetles on there. And then there is a crab, which I know isn't technically a bug, but look at the legs, and then a butterfly. And notice that we went from 2 really intense animals, 2 really intense bugs. I mean, like, dude, look at the pincers on those fucking, like, absolutely not, no. We went from that to this, which, yes, this is bigger, and yes, the pincers are a little smaller, and yes, there's only 1. To this, which is the butterfly and metamorphosis. Like, that has really caught my eye. And then, like I said, you have Nyx, and then you have Hathor, and then at the end you have the Mother of Dawn, and this is beauty, agency, and compassion. So what all of this tells me, Miss Cindy, is that 2026 is going to be a year of intensive transformation for you. So we're going to start with the bad stuff first, because I am that person that I eat the shit on my plate first that I don't like, and then I end with the stuff I do like, okay? So we're going to get the shit out of the way first. I think that there's going to be the loss of some friends, of some people in your life that are not going to like when you let go of these hats. I think there is going to be some very hurtful words happen that are said to you or about you, and they I think you're going to lose some friends this year, Cindy. I think you're going to lose some people that are very close to you, and I think that you're going to lose some family members that you thought were closer than they are when you stop wearing the hats that everybody needs you to wear. Metamorphosis, transformation also comes with a cost, and I want you to think about it. There's a big energetic cost with that. If you look at just what a caterpillar goes through to become a butterfly, it is intense. It is intense, right? The things that they have to do and go without food and water, and you know, some of them may not even make it out of the cocoon, and some don't make it to the cocoon, and things like that. You really have to look at the energetic cost of all of this. And you need to figure out, and I'm telling you this first, and I'm telling you this now, and I'm kind of glad that I'm reading for you before New Year's, because this is something that you need to figure out now. You need to have a serious talk with yourself about how much energy you actually have and that you want to freely give out. I mentioned that, you know, this kind of tells me that at the last of this year, you have absolutely been exhausted and you're dragging yourself through the motions because you can't get going. The reason that you need to sit and you need to have a hardcore talk with Cindy, the Cindy that's in there under all the masks, about how much energy you actually have, is because when you continually give more than you have, it's eventually going to start breaking your meat sack down. So I want you to look at, because a lot of people are like, well, how do I start knowing, you know, what energy I have to give out? Start looking at the parts of your mouth, not your mouth. I'm looking at my own mouth. Start looking at the parts of your mouth, okay? It's what I said. We're going to stand by it. The parts of your mouth, the parts of your body, the parts of, I meant to say your body, the parts of your physical meat sack that are giving out. Are you having problems with your knees? Are you having problems with your back? Are you trying to hold up the world for everybody? Are you having problems with your mouth? Are you having problems with your teeth? Are you trying to be the one who talks for everybody or talks to everybody? Are you trying to be the one that keeps up communication for the entire family so they don't lose touch? Do you see what I mean? The part of your body that's starting to wear out the fastest is going to tell you spiritually where you're giving the most energy. So let that sink in a minute. The fact that you have Nyx and karmic justice at the front. This is a lot of things that are going to start happening around you. And at first, you're not going to understand why some of these things are happening. I think that there are, after you sit down and you decide where Cindy's energy actually is, I think that there are going to be a lot of people around you that suddenly have some things happen. It's not because you made those things happen. It's because you decided that you were going to withdraw yourself from that situation or that person or whatever, and you weren't going to wear that mask anymore. And when you are no longer there as an energetic buffer, then their karma comes for them. Y'all, you can take the place of someone else's karma. You can. You can take the place of someone else's karma. If you are constantly defending somebody, constantly propping somebody up, constantly making sure that that person is okay, you are keeping them from their karma. It's not just a lesson. Just saying. The Hathor and the Mother of Dawn. I want to talk about those two together, specifically because we go from blues and purples and dark colors to, wow, if I can even pick it up, a lot of yellows, oranges, reds, etc. I'm going to say that around June, end of May, 1st of June, this is going to be an intense shift within inside of you to getting back to a very intensive, more intensive part of your foundational being. Meditation, music, things like that. This is going to be you completely being the crazy hippie lady and the woo-saw and just calm the fuck down. And this is going to be that. Enjoy it, Cindy. Enjoy it. Don't try to put a mask on it and don't try to put a name on it. Just enjoy it, because this is what's going to get you back to who you actually are under every one of those damn masks. I really believe that this is going to be an utterly fantastic year for you, Cindy. I really do. The first of it's going to be a little rough with letting go of these masks and letting go of some of these people and watching people that you have been defending and trying to keep them in a good way get their karma. That's always going to be hard. But that needs to happen. This is why you're so exhausted all the time. Okay? And it's something that every person has to face in their own lifetime. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you do what I do and you're a spiritual person, you're a spiritualist or occultist or whatever the fuck you want to label it. It doesn't matter if you're a social worker. It doesn't matter if you're a firefighter. It doesn't matter if you work at Walmart. It doesn't matter. Every single one of us has to face all of these masks that we have on all the time. And every one of us has to let people around us deal with their shit, right? And it's hard because those are usually people that we really love. All right. Lenzie. Lenzie is next. I like that Lenzie came with a specific question. Will everything work out moving at the end of May? I love that as I'm reading this question, I'm going to read this question and I'm going to show you the two cards that just fell out face up. I'm just shuffling the deck, right? Will everything work out moving at the end of May to a new state and getting a big house? I'm going to try to pick them up exactly as they fell. This is the confidence card. And this is financial security. And notice financial security is like that. I just realized that I apologize here. I just realized that I wondered why everybody was asking about what zodiac sign I was on. I am so sorry. This is me trying to do too many things. There we go. There we go. This is me trying to do too many things. The fact that you asked about moving and have financial security sideways with confidence like this. Now, when I see a card like this, it tells me that it's moving back this way. Now, if it was like that, that's different. The financial security card sideways has me a little, we're gonna look at some other things here. I will say this. Okay, that card wanted to come out weird too. I have noticed a lot of people that I know personally, have been feeling the need to slow down in 2026. Have been feeling the need to clear their plate. Have been feeling the need to make sure that everything is kosher. I don't know how else to explain it. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. You already know. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. So I'm going to look at these other cards. This is, oh, sweet. I'm not mad. King Arthur. This is championship, self-realization, and nobility. And then this card came out kind of whopper-jawed. Oh, and it is Jenny the Maid, which is also, I find this interesting. The companionship. Why did I say championship? Companionship. This is the champion, and this is being humble, and it is disillusionment. And then you have Lilith. Of course you have Lilith. Of course you have Lilith. Which is hunger and animism and instinct. Okay, so my very first my reaction to that is no. I don't think it'll be in May. I think that you're looking at something a little later than May, maybe September. I don't think that May timeline is a right timeline to put on it. And I say that because these two cards came out like this as I was trying to read this, okay? The financial security being flat like this, and then this one up here. I think that there are some things you have to take care of first with your own self. The fact that Jeannie the maid is also whopper jawed like this, it tells me that there is something there. The disillusionment keeps sticking out to me. Realization, disillusionment, and then everything with the Lilith card. There's a lot of Lilith energy circling around you going forward into 2026. That hunger, that instinct, that animism, that pride, that movement, like go, 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 go. There's a lot of that sticking out, right? And I would not be surprised if you have Lilith poking at you or around you, or you already work with Lilith. But my advice from these cards is going to be to step back just a little bit. Don't try to push for May. I don't know why, but I really feel like September, especially end of September, is going to be the better time for you to attempt to move to a different state. I think in August, those plans will really solidify. And I think that towards the end of September, that will be, oh my God, we're doing this, let's go. That kind of thing. I don't know why May is an absolute, like my gut and the cards, everything is like, no, not May. I think that there's some self-realization that you need to do first with this move. Whether it is why, how, what, you know what I mean? There is something with this move, specifically trying to move out of state, that is really, it's really sticking to you, if that makes sense. And the other thing is disillusionment. And this popped in my head, so I want to say this. Sometimes people can do workings to make you push forward with something that isn't supposed to happen yet. And this is where people get into a world of hurt, especially with witch talk and shit. I'm going to say this part first, and then I'm going to go back to this other part. If you are one of those people that you're doing workings to push somebody to do something before they're ready, to make them get all this great shit to have the rug pulled out, or if you are somebody that's doing that to somebody that does not deserve it. I'm not saying that there aren't people that don't deserve it, but if you are somebody that's doing this to somebody, setting them up to see them fail just because they're no longer your friend, or just because you don't like how they look, or just because you don't like the witchcraft they practice, or just because insert whatever petty bullshit right here. If you are somebody doing that, that is a whole level of karma that you really need to think about. That is a whole level of karma that you really need to think about. Because if you are pushing somebody to do something before it is right for them to do it, just to see them fail, the universe will always take care of that person. May your little shitty spell work? Yes. But the universe will always take care of this person because they are always going to be on the path they need to be on. So the universe might just have to shift some things here and there. Guess where that karma is going to land? It's going to land right on the top of your head. And all of the things that you're manifesting, and all of the things that you're trying to do, and all of the things that you've been doing to be the big bad meanie witch that you are, whatever, all of that is going to hit you like an anvil hits Wile E. Coyote. And that brain, that head is going to go, like it's going to hit you so fucking hard. I say that because I kind of feel like that's what's been done. Lindsay, I kind of feel like that's what's been done. Something is push, giving you this timeline. It has to be done. It's almost like a panic inside you, right? Like it has to be done in May. It's like a panic. My advice is going to be to start the year off literally tomorrow evening or Thursday on the 1st, to start the year off with just cleansing the entire space of your house energetically. Cleanse your doors, cleanse your windows, you know, go get a new bundle of sage, or if you already have a bundle or a new bundle of whatever your chosen bundle is, something brand new that you haven't been burning. This is a good time to clear all of that out. All of it. Because I think that that's what's going on. I think that's why this feels like a panic, like it has to be done and you have to move. My advice is going to be to wait. I really think that September is the better timeline for this for you. And I know that's not what you wanted to hear. But if there's one thing that I have learned, it's that the universe will take you exactly where it needs to take you when it needs to take you there. Like you can't force it to do shit. September. I think that August is when everything hits together like it's supposed to. And I think that that's when all of this confidence comes back. I think that's when all of the financial security comes in that you need to move, because moving's expensive anyway. Moving across state lines is even more so. So, yeah. I'm going to say that. For those of you guys that are looking for the zodiac reads for the week, those are on my YouTube, and I did them last night. They were a little interesting. We did not have any feral signs. I'm kind of excited about that. No feral signs for the week. Maybe everybody's just fucking tired. But no feral signs for the week, so yeah. All right, Alex is next. And Alex says, are my protections and manifestations going to help me in 2026? That card tried to jump out of my hands. We're going to do that. All right, Alex. Okay. That's a lot. I'm going to need you to not have that many. All right, there we go. All right. I find it very interesting that, I have too much shit on my desk, but I find it very interesting that all three of these cards came out pretty quickly, and then those two, it took them a minute, and then they came out together. And I also feel the need, so I've been doing like, you know, an anchor card, and then one of these cards, and then an anchor card, and then one of those cards, and then an anchor card. But for some reason with these, I put those other two Talisman Oracle cards up there on the top, and they're not on top of these. So, yeah. You can't make this shit up. This is the card that jumped out of the deck. I was like, okay, this is also King Arthur. And this is self-realization, nobility, companionship, etc. And then you have Hathor. Hathor's coming out a lot. A lot of y'all are going to have good party 2026s. That is meditation, culture, and communication, excuse me. And then you have El Shaddai, which is wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. And then these two came out like this. On the bottom, we have willpower. So the answer to your question is yes. And then we have good luck. Again, double yes. Double yes. Willpower and double yes. So I think that I see why these cards came out the way they did. The Talisman Oracle, the ones like this, these are answering the questions. Yes and yes. Are your protections going to work? Yes. You just need to keep funneling that willpower to them. I don't remember if it's out yet or if it's one of the ones that's scheduled for the next couple of days, but I actually have a video, a lunchtime learning video coming out about willpower. willpower is one of the strongest things that you can do in your magical practice, especially when it comes to manifestation, protections, etc. The fact that you asked about protections first, that willpower came out like that, yes, 100%, that's going to keep working. You just need to make sure you're keeping that up. And then the manifestations, the good luck card came out. Absolutely. I would say both of those are a resounding yes with that. But now I want to look at these other two things. I love that the universe gave you straight up like, yes, ma'am. Here it is, right? I love that you got an immediate, very solid answer. I want to talk about these down here, though. Hathor, Arthur, El Shaddai, etc. There's an overlying theme here of... wisdom is not the right word. Seeing. Seeing is the right word. Because if you think about it, what is King Arthur really famous for? Camelot, the Round Table, etc. He is famous for revolutionary ideas, right? The idea of having a round table of knights where everyone is equal was completely revolutionary during that time. Camelot was a revolutionary type of idea, right? Hathor, seeing. Hathor is the Egyptian goddess of culture, parties, communication. But notice that culture is the thing there. And one thing about culture that keeps standing out, especially with you, is sometimes we get so intent on trying to find who we are that we forget to look at our ancestors and our culture. And we forget to see what it is that made us DNA-wise who we are. DNA holds memory. Water holds memory. And you are a lot of water. But DNA holds memory. The other thing is with El Shaddai. This is another term for God, basically. Wisdom, paternalism, kindness. Seeing the good in things and in people, right? All three of these things right here, all three of these people, deities, etc., because King Arthur technically isn't a deity. All three of these beings are known for seeing beyond what's physically in front of them. They're known for being able to see what else is going to happen, see what changes they can make, see what their culture is leading them to do. And my advice is really going to be to pay hardcore attention to you, to where you came from, to yourself, your culture, your DNA, your family, your ancestors. And look at some of the ideas and the revolutionary things that they brought to your family line and that have instilled in you. I think that doing a lot of ancestor work this year, a lot of cultural work this year, is going to really help you find out who you are, Alex. And I find it interesting that that came up because it's so night and day different than the question that you asked. And it's really, really funny. You asked specifically, is this going to keep working? And the universe was like, yep, but let's talk about this. But let's talk about this instead. So I find that really, really interesting. I hope that that made sense, Alex. I know that you've been traveling to the Netherlands and back and forth and stuff like that. And I would be curious, I don't know if you're still over here. What's up, Santa Paranormal? Give me just a second. I will talk to you. Alex, I don't know if you've been to a lot of places there in Germany where you are from. You know what I mean? Go visit cemeteries. Go visit ancestors. Go be with them. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying, oh, don't take that the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Make some of the dishes from, your grandparents. Go walk down the street that your grandparents or your parents used to live on. Like, things like that. Reconnect with who Alex is. Okay? For those of you guys that are watching me on TikTok, I'm on a PC, so I can't see how many of y'all are in here in the live stream. But I forgot to announce this yesterday, but y'all are going to get bombarded with it. So Santa Paranormal there has invited me very kindly to be on his podcast. And if you guys don't follow him, you absolutely should. I've been kind of peeking in at your streams in the evening when you're on and so on and so forth. And I absolutely cannot wait to be on your podcast and talk about things and stuff. I can't wait. I can't wait. But I'm really, really excited. But it's going to be on the 15th of January. I just talked to Gary yesterday and kind of made sure to solidify everything. And yeah, if you guys follow me, just know that I will make sure to be bombarding you with that information. But I really enjoy watching your live streams because it's really, really cool, some of the answers you get. And I'm sure that you guys have probably seen him around TikTok, if you're on TikTok, especially in the witchy, paranormal, ghosty things or whatever. I really had to fall down the rabbit hole with some of your videos and had to go and binge watch a lot of them. But the ones of you cleaning off the graves and getting answers to things, and like the kid asking for a doll and saying thank you and stuff like that, that is just utterly, I love that that is put out, because that, I think that's one of the reasons I bought the church that I bought. I'm not going to lie. I got very protective. Like, the building is phenomenal. There's a lot of activity there. It's quiet. It's gorgeous. But I got so protective over that cemetery. And we go out there a lot. And we clean. We put goodies out. We put solar lights. You know, all of the things that you would expect somebody to do for your ancestors and so on. But we get a lot of response from things. And some of my moderators, I don't know if Denise is in here, but they can tell you, like, there's a lot of people out in that cemetery, in that graveyard, that they communicate like this. So I loved watching your videos, especially where you're cleaning the graves and the kids are asking for dolls and stuff. Like, I just love it. So I love it. And thank you for asking me to be on your podcast. I'm really, really excited. I was telling Gary that I just got back into doing podcasts. When I first had my TikTok start to like crazy blow up in like 2022, I got invited to be on several different podcasts and had a really, really bad experience on a podcast and then on a radio show. And I was like, yep, and I'm done. I'm not doing that shit again. So I'm just now getting back into it. Like, I understand people want to ambush you for views. I understand people want to ambush you to try to catch you on some lies or whatever. But like, I don't understand it. I get it, but I don't understand it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So anyway, thanks for coming in and hanging out. All right. So I have Bobbie Henson, Traci Rivera. I have Kelsey and Kelly. Kelsey and Kelly. That's going to be fun. And then tomorrow, my first read tomorrow will be, oh, no, I lied, on 1/1, not tomorrow, will be Kelly. How I got two Kellys? Y'all try to jack me all up over here. So Kelly Bridges will be first on 1/1. And then will be Jacqueline. I love the way your name is spelled, by the way. And then Viviana. Okay. All right. Let's do the Bobbie Sue, yeah? Yeah? All right. I guess I could look at your question instead of just, okay. Or my cards can just throw out whatever they're going to throw out, because that's how they roll. I'm questioning. You're questioning somebody that screwed you over twice, but you've been thinking about them a lot, and then all of a sudden things played out to where we've been around each other. Okay, so just reading that, girl, run. Just reading that makes all my hair stand up. Like, I even paused in reading it. Y'all, I'm going to say this, okay? Before we ever look at the cards, and one of them fell out in my lap, and I made sure to put it exactly how it fell. Run. One of the things that I love-hate about TikTok and about Witch Talk is Witch Talk allowed a lot of people to really find their self, to really find their spiritual path, right? And I love that. I absolutely do. It allowed so many of us to share our knowledge with you, right? It allowed so many of us to share stuff that was passed down through our family line to you. But it also allowed two other things. One is grifters and con artists that can regurgitate shit out of a book, like just bleh, and you don't know the difference until they come across the wrong one of us and crash. And two, it allowed people that even if they're not witchy, even if they're not spiritual, even if they don't do spells, it allowed them to interest and hear on TikTok and so on that people are using en masse. You don't know what that is. If they're just like, oh, I created this for them, my stuff included, okay? My stuff included. Let me start there. My stuff included. I've been creating sigils and stuff like this since like 2nd grade. I do them as art. I create them for what somebody needs, right? I don't share a lot of them and say, oh, you can use this for this. For reasons, okay? Rune work is a little different. Whether it's Norse, whether it's Greek, whether it's Egyptian, hieroglyphs, those are a little different. They have an ancient assigned meaning, right? But when you have somebody that's just designing something and being like, oh, hey, here, this is, you can all use this for this. You don't know what that is. Also, things that used to be really intense, hardcore gate-kept things that you had to make sure, and I said gate-kept for a reason because I know that TikTok loves that word. You had to be taught by word of mouth after intense training. Some of those things are now out there, like anybody can go find out how to do these things. And one of the main things that I see is popping up again is destiny swapping. First of all, ancient people that practiced any kind of stuff, whether it was Egyptian, whether it was Norse, whether it was Celtic, whether it's Native American, whether it's Chinese, Korean, it doesn't matter. The things like that were something that you maybe learned after you had been practicing 30, 40, 50 years. Blood magic is the same thing. You were trained very carefully in how to use that. But it's at everybody's fingertips now because of the internet. And people always want to be the one with the shock value and so on. And people always want to think that they know something that somebody else doesn't know. And I get that. But I have watched the blowback on so many of these things. So in reading that, Bobbie, that right there tells me that whether this person is witchy or not, something has been done to make you spill all of your guts like that. I don't think that this is just a trauma response. I don't think that this is just you missing your friend, okay? I think that something has been done to make you just... They're digging for information. That's why I said, no, absolutely not. You don't need to be around them. Walking away is a thing. And I know it looks rude and I know it sounds rude and I know everybody's going to be like, oh my God, you just walked away. Yeah, bitch, I did. Especially if this person has fucked you over twice. Walk the fuck away. Walk the fuck away. You know what I mean? I see a lot of you guys commenting in the on TikTok about blood magic. I had someone argue with me about blood magic being a good thing. Every type of magic has a price. Every type of magic extracts a price. Let that sink in. Extracts a price. Healing magic extracts a price. It's used for the best thing possible, right? Healing people, like energy work, Reiki, etc. It extracts a price from you. A small one, it means that you've got to recoup and get yourself back, right? Blood magic exacts a price that some people don't want to pay. But they do it because, oh, well, you know, other people don't practice it and I'm going to get one over on so-and-so or whatever. They do it for stupid-ass petty reasons. I literally had someone argue with me. They started, like, stitching some videos and making comments and stuff like that. I'm not going to argue with you, first of all. But about how blood magic was great and their late husband used to do it. Okay, wait, what? Back up. They made an entire video about how their late husband used to do blood magic all the time and he was just fine. He also passed away unexpectedly at 36. That's not just fine. That's not just fine. That is doing a lot of shit that you shouldn't have been doing, and I'm going to say this with my entire chest. Doing a lot of shit that you shouldn't have been doing, messing with a lot of shit that you didn't know how to safely mess with, and you paid the price and you paid the consequences. I talk about the movie The Princess and the Frog a lot because at the end of that, the guy getting his from the dark spirits that he's been trying to screw over and so on, that is literally what the fuck will happen. And people just are like, oh, well, you know, not gonna happen to me because I know more. Okay. I'm going to stay over here out of the blast radius. Okay? Not doing it. So, Bobbie, what that tells me is that you need to stay as far away from this person as possible. This person needs to be blocked. They do not need to be in your life. And I'm going to start turning cards over now that I've gotten on my little soapbox. The first one is the Thinker, knowledge, instruction, and reinvention. Okay? And then you have success. First of all, that tells me that 2026 is going to be a really good year for you. Like a really good year for you. This is a year of Bobbie reinventing Bobbie, and this is a year of manifestations coming true. And this is a lot. This is a lot. Like, these two cards together make me do the tinglies on my arms, right? This is a lot. Reinvention and success. And now also, I have the red flags going off. I know Scarly's in here. I see Candy in here. I know y'all have the red flags going off too. And here it is. This is the Exile. And this is Lost Valor. That is strategy and trauma and failure. And then Eternal Charisma. And then my girl shows up again, Hawthorne. '26 is going to be a fucking phenomenal year for you, Bobbie. A phenomenal year for you. And I think that there are going to be a lot of people, because of that Exile card, I think that there are going to be a lot of people that start to show up because you exude an energy. Everybody does, okay? When you're happy, when you're successful, when things are going great, you exude this energy. Your aura gets bigger. And people that have energetic ties to you, you know what? I have not done a shamanic callback of your energy. And Scarly or Christine, well, when you guys remind me to get that scheduled, that just needs to happen. Somebody still has energetic ties to you, like a little hook, right? Like a little hook. They're going to make you feel like maybe what happened wasn't as bad. Maybe, you know, you just thought they fucked you over and you made it in your head worse than it was and so on. Bobbie, I just have a feeling that these people are going to start coming out of the woodwork and they're going to start trying to do whatever they can to either siphon off this success, ride your coattails, or whatever the fuck they need to do. My advice is going to be this. Keep your protections high and your defenses higher. Period. I love the 2026 outlook for you. It's fucking fantastic. And I think that it's something that you need, your family needs. I think that reinvention and that success and the culture and the happiness and the eternal. I think all of this is something that you have been manifesting and you have been needing so bad. I don't like that this came out with that person around. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Just saying. I don't like it at all. Okay? This person needs to be completely kicked to the curb and not allowed back up on the curb. Okay? You kick them to the curb and then you drive the fuck off as fast as you can go. Just saying. I'm just saying. I love that. Somebody on YouTube said that they were taught under a couple of people and blood magic was taught, but you were taught not to use it unless absolutely necessary. Exactly. Exactly. That right there. Blood magic is a last resort kind of thing. She has always tried to be you. Yeah, leave her at the curb somewhere else. Leave her at the curb somewhere else, Bobbie. She doesn't need to be in your life at all. She doesn't get access, period. She doesn't get access. Purr it. Purr it. Scarly pointed out it's permanent. And I'm going to say this. This is something, this is how I explain blood magic, okay? And this is how I explain curses, and this is how I explain like really serious, intense stuff. And I really want you guys to hear me out and listen, okay? If you took a cup of water outside and you poured it on the ground, it would start to sink into the ground immediately, right? And if you suddenly went, oh shit, I need that water back, and you scooped the ground up really quick, right? And you're like, oh, I got all of it. And you took it inside and you drained it and you let it evaporate and you let, like, right, you could probably get the majority of that water back. But do you really think that you got every single molecule of that water back out of the dirt? Do you really think you got every bit of that water back out of the dirt? And the water that you did get out of the dirt, you might get it really clear. You might get almost all of it out, and you might be left with the grossest brown colored shit ever. That then you're going to have to boil, and you're going to lose some of it in evaporation. So there is no way to get that same cup of water back into that same cup after you have poured it out in the ground. That is how blood magic works. That is how curses work. There is no way to get that completely back. I don't care if you know exactly what it was you did and you undo it step by step. You can't put the blood back in your finger. You can't. Once a curse has been let out, you can't undo that completely. Part of it still has to run its course. And when you try to undo that curse because maybe you acted out of anger or maybe you acted out of pettiness or whatever, and you try to undo that curse or maybe walk it back a little bit, you take the brunt of that. So you're kind of fucked either way. Either you take the brunt of it with either one, blood magic or curses. You take the brunt of it if it's not called for, or you get to watch somebody that is innocent, that didn't deserve that, get karma that they didn't deserve. And guess what's going to happen? That karma isn't going to hit them. It's going to come back and smack you. Like, either way, this is why you see a lot of people, and I want you guys to really think about this, okay? And I'm saying it with a grin because I've watched it happen to somebody that really deserved it, and it's great. I'm watching it happen right now again. This is why there are con artists, there are people on TikTok that are trying to do curse work for hire and stuff like that, that don't know what they're doing, and they're doing it willy-nilly for anybody that will give them money, and they're either not doing the curse work, or they're not checking everything out, doing divination, anything like that before they do it, and then guess what happens? They get that karma. There is one creator on TikTok, and no, I'm not going to name names, that I have watched lose 2 different accounts They fucked me over repeatedly. They tried to do a whole bunch of work against me and my moderators, my coven, etc. They even implanted spies in the coven and all this other bullshit. And on a video showed an effigy that they had made of me to burn things inside. Bitch, I'm fine. But I'm watching all this stuff happen with you through the grapevine, because when I tell you guys that I'm fucking Varys from Game of Thrones, I'm fucking Varys from Game of Thrones. And don't think that me and my core coven group aren't over here just fucking cackling like the little witches that we are. Because we didn't do shit back to that person. Protections, and that's it. I'm watching it happen right now, again, for the third time. Because they're doing it to other creators. And they're catching some of these other smaller creators that they do have the time. They are happy to send this shit right back. And I am just sitting back with a cigar, liking it. Because that's exactly what happens. And it doesn't matter what culture you belong to. It doesn't matter where you grew up. There are stories that the old people tell, that the elders tell, about maybe not fucking with things that you shouldn't be fucking with. If you aren't properly trained in stuff, maybe don't fuck with it. Bobbie, I kind of went on that little diatribe because I kind of feel like when somebody comes back into your life and for reasons, suddenly, or no reason, suddenly you're like, blah, 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 right? And you are suddenly oversharing everything with them. That is a red flag. That is a huge red flag. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, well, not everybody does workings. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I've been on TikTok since TikTok was a thing. I got on in April of 2020. We're going to have a big party for the 6th year. Me being on here 6 years. I have seen so much shit. I've seen so much shit. I have had some very interesting people hire me to do workings. I can't tell you guys how many people have tried to hire me. I'm going to say it that way. I don't normally believe in this stuff. I'm Christian, or I don't normally believe in this stuff, or whatever. But this person did X, Y, Z. Oh, gotta get that bad energy out. Look at okay. Look at. All right, Traci Rivera is next. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Those two want to come out together, so we're going to do that. So. Don't put it past anybody. There's so much out there on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube about doing witchy shit. So much. Hell, I put out videos about it. If you don't think that somebody couldn't go on and something randomly come across and they're like, that's a good idea, I'm going to make a jar, I'm going to use that sigil. If y'all don't think that that is a thing, just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Make sure I have the right Traci. Traci R. How do you move forward? So you had two cards come out together. The bottom one is the caretaker of the lost. That is memory, assistance, and rest. And then this one, oh, is the Morrigan. Okay, hello, man. This is an interesting one to come out on top of the caretaker of the lost. Anticipation, introspection, opposition, revenge. I haven't even turned these other cards over yet. I don't know what it is that you're moving forward from, Tracy, but I'm going to say this. Anger is a very powerful motivator. The fact that you have the caretaker of the lost and the memory card, and then you have the Morrigan, and even though that card is, you know, anticipation and opposition and introspection, the Morrigan is a battle deity. She is a triple goddess in the Celtic pantheon. And the Morrigan herself is a battle deity. Like, I am pretty familiar with her. She's been around me since I was a kid. I'm not familiar with her. The other thing I'm going to say is this. When Celtic tribes would fight, and one side would claim that they saw the Morrigan fighting on the other side, they usually would retreat, and the commanders could not get them to get back in line. If you saw that the Morrigan was with you on your side, if you saw her ravens come through, etc., that pretty much meant you were going to win. So how do you move forward? Transmutation. Before I ever turn these other cards over, transmutation. Anger is a very, very powerful thing that you can transmute, because everyone knows what anger is. Everyone knows what anger is. It's one of those base emotions. There might be 900 bazillion, quadrillion other emotions underneath that anger, but anger is very easy to pinpoint. Someone hurt me, I'm angry, right? It is the most powerful motivator that there is. And I want you to think of it like this. When someone tells you that you can't do something, it makes you angry, right? There's a lot of other emotions, but it makes you angry, right? Don't tell me what I can't do. You immediately get angry. And then what do? You transmute that into doing that thing, even if you know damn well you really shouldn't do it, right? Every single one of us is a master at transmutation. We've learned it from the time we were a kid, but we don't think of it that way. So the fact that you have memory and then you have a battle deity, how do you move forward? You take all of those memories and you take all of those things that you need to move forward from, or, you know, away from, or however you want to look at it. And you look at what part of that makes you angry and you transmute that into fuel. And then you have union, which is interesting. And then you have El Shaddai, who keeps coming out a lot today too, which is wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. And then you have let go. Okay. So for 2026, you need to transmute, 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 transmute. I'm not saying to stay in the anger, okay? Everybody always tells you, especially in the spiritual community, let go of all that, let go of all that. And yes, you do need to let go of it because it's at the end, but it's the last card. So that is for the end of 2026, okay? If you don't feel that emotion, if you don't give name to it, if you don't grieve the loss of a friend or a job or a house or whatever it is, if you don't process those emotions, then it doesn't fucking matter if you let it go or not, because you didn't really let it go. If you're like, you know what, I know that you just cheated on me and I'm going to be the bigger person and let it go, and you're not going to process it, bullshit. I'm going to call out right now that you're a liar right to your face, because in here is all of this bubbling shit of anger and hurt and sadness and betrayal and trust issues and all of those things. They're going to start to bleed out in other ways. So while let go is the last card, I think that is next New Year's. I think that is New Year's 2027, which sounds really fucking weird to say out of my face. Tracy, you need to look back at all of the things that you're trying to move forward from, okay? Allow that anger, allow you to recognize that anger, okay? Not only allow you to recognize that anger, but then you need to make sure that you're transmuting that into fuel to move you forward. I don't think that you're stuck. I don't think that there is anything at all that is causing you to not be able to move forward. It's just you're out of gas. And that is the easiest thing to transmute. Oh, that's what Bear was barking about. I gotta go check the mail here in a minute. Your ponytail looks super cute. The union of where you want to go and how you're getting there is what that card talks about. It's not love. It's not any of that. It is you being able to have that transmutation, turn it into fuel, and get where you need to go. The El Shaddai card, all the wisdom that comes with moving forward and all the wisdom that comes with transmutation is such a powerful thing. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know how powerful the wisdom is that comes with transmutation. When you're transmuting anger into fuel to move you forward, it is such a phenomenal thing. You learn so much about yourself, about the limits you will go to, about the things you won't do. You learn so much about you. You learn so much about you. So, Traci, be angry, honey. Be angry and let that anger be transmuted and transformed into fuel to move you forward in 2026. I don't see anything nasty negative for 2026 for you. Just pure, straight, open road. So, go enjoy it. Okay? And next year, towards the end of 2026, we can talk about this. Okay? So, for those of you guys that are watching me live today during the day and so on, I meant to mention this last night, but I will put out a video. I'll be mentioning it next week and everything. I am going to start doing the vast majority of my reads during the day. I have a couple of books that have to get finished. Why are those cute as fuck? I have a couple of books that have to get finished. And to be honest, I have not been able to do anything with my friends for a couple of years. And I love you guys, but also my friends need me just as much as I need them. And so all of my readings are going to start moving during the day. That will start obviously this week, but next week hardcore. So if you guys are waiting on a rebook from me, it will be live like this. That way we can get all of those done. So yeah, my kid just ordered on ThreadUp. Did y'all know that UGG made slippers? Not slippers. Like flats. Those were the cutest fucking things, and now I need a pair of them. Now I need a pair of them. It's cute fucking thing. The ones she ordered are beyond cute. What are you up to today, Candy Sue? If you guys don't follow, those of you guys over on TikTok, if you don't follow Candy Rexthorn. I know that's not your name, but I like it. We're going to call you Rexthorn. If y'all don't follow Candy over there, then you absolutely, absolutely should. Kelsey. Kelsey, and then Kelly. Kelsey, and then Kelly. On vacation, just being lazy. I don't know if I would know how to actually take a vacation at this point in my life. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't think I would be able to at this point. Alright, let me do this real quick. Not real quick. What's up, guys? So tickets for today are sold out. 1-1 and 1-2 are open. I'm going to take a quick potty break. I'm going to take a quick potty break, and then we're coming back and reading for Kelsey and then Kelly. It's your first vacation in years. Dude, I'm serious. I don't think I would know how to actually have a vacation. So, I'd feel like I had to work. Alright, I'll be right back. Y'all have about 30 seconds to a minute. super damn cute. All right. All right. Let me take my phone in my pocket. Yeah, see, that would be me. Sass is trying to talk me into going on a cruise. And I've always been nervous to go on a cruise, I'm not going to lie, but I would be the one that would be working on the cruise. I mean, oh, y'all got to hear this shit. Y'all got to hear this shit. Okay, so my birthday is coming up on the 12th, right? But I always celebrate on 113 because that's my lucky number. Guess when the January new moon is, or the January full moon. Guess when the full moon in January is? Just saying. All right, Kelsey. Just general. You got it. You got it. Okay. I really need to do something epic for my 50th year. Like I think my goal for my 49th year is, and this is what I told Sass, like before I'm 50, I feel like I need to hit as many of the 50 states as possible. And then when I am 50, then I need to hit like, because I don't think, I'm looking at my schedule right now. I am not going to get to Hawaii this year, and I am not going to get to Alaska this year, right? Like, that's obviously, it's not going to happen. I am also not going to get to Puerto Rico this year. So I feel like I need to hit the rest of the continental United States, and it's so weird how they're spread out too. But I will say that I'm really kind of excited to go up to like Wyoming and Montana, because that means, oh no, I'll have to go visit the grandbaby. But it also means that I have to go in the summer because I ain't driving up there with y'all in the snow like that. And then it also means that I get to go back to this place in Idaho that has this crazy gorge and these waterfalls, and I want to go back so bad. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I also need to go through the Dakotas. I haven't been to either Dakota. I know, I got to perfect my accent. Are you in Alaska, Natalie? Stop it. I have family in Anchorage and in, I don't know if I have family in Juneau anymore. I think most of them moved already to the continental states. But yeah. Yeah, I have family in Anchorage. My grandma's sister, her name was Ruth, but they always called her Punky. I don't know why. My Aunt Punky. Her husband bought land up there, was working pipeline and bought land up there, and they moved up there, and so all of her kids were raised up there and so on. In Tacoma. Okay. That happens to be where my son is. All right. Kelsey, I am bobaed up and ready. I'm also looking at how I laid these cards down. I have like the 3 anchor cards, and usually I was putting the 2, so it kind of tied it together like that, right? Like in an M. But for some reason, these 2 are over here, and then these are over here. So let's look. Lilith. Lilith. Hunger, animism, and instinct. And then knowledge. Oh. So let me just say that your general read for 2026, Kelsey, is all about dark divine feminine. All about dark divine feminine. I'm just saying. All about dark divine feminine. And the knowledge that comes with it. And let me say this, because a lot of people think that dark divine feminine is just like a villain era. And can it be? Yes. But the dark divine feminine is that really intense feminine energy that's in there that a lot of us, and I'm going to say us because men and women both need to go through a dark divine feminine and a dark divine masculine to really be in touch with who you are, right? So the dark divine feminine, especially for women, you're told to put that stuff like way down there because you're not evil. You're a mom or a sister or a mother or a kid or whatever. I said mom twice, but you know what I mean. You're taught to like shove that down, and that is the primal force that drives a woman forward. For men to go through the dark divine feminine stage, that is really getting in touch with that primal energy, right? Same thing when women go through getting in touch with the dark divine masculine. The knowledge that comes with that. The knowledge that comes with that, it's all about yourself, the knowledge that you get from the dark divine feminine era. And the dark divine feminine, I know that people sometimes are like, oh, I'm in my dark divine feminine, you know, and I'm probably going to be here for like 4 months. Bitch, you don't get to say how long you're going to be there. You don't get to say how long you're going to be in the dark divine feminine era. I'm just letting you know. You don't. Sometimes it's years. Sometimes it's years. Sometimes it's a week. You don't get to decide how long you're in that. That's like deciding how long you're going to be in the stages of grief. That's like deciding how long you're going to be in the stages of an awakening. Like you don't get to decide that. So next is Thanatos, completion, support, and expediency. And then grounding, which is on top of Thanatos and Set. Ambition, short-sightedness, and narcissism. Why do I feel like this is two people in your life and not you? I see why this is separated. Okay, so let's talk about your 2026. You, my girl, are in the entirety of your dark divine feminine era and all of the knowledge that comes with it. This over here, though, this is two different, very masculine entities in your life. And you have to ground yourself, and I mean spiritually, ground yourself to deal with either of them this year. One of them comes across like a very intense, in tune, powerful male figure. Because Thanatos is a titan, right? He is a massive, intense, primordial being. He is not just like some newly created deity being, etc. But he's going to come across that he is your support system. He can help you out of all of this. He has this knowledge and this wisdom. And it's going to seem like he is the better choice for you to listen to, okay? The better choice for you to get knowledge from or be supported by or whatever. And then you have this one over here that comes across as Set. Short-sighted, narcissistic, right? Like only cares about themselves. Is like, look, you got to start caring about you. Like I can't care about you right now. You got to care about you. Like they come across like that. Not in a real mean way, but just very matter of fact, right? But the thing is, the ambition that that person brings with them, you need that. You need that. You can't discount either one of these, okay? The one that comes across as this all-knowing, I can help you out with everything and so on. The one that comes across like that is not, don't put that one on a pedestal. Don't put that one on a pedestal. You're going to want to. But there's also that underlying river of red flags with that one, okay? Do not put either one of them on a pedestal. Let me say that. You need to ground this shit out of yourself before you deal with either one of these. Oh boy over here might look like they are the one with all the knowledge and all the things and all the fantastic things that you need to learn and so on. And this one may seem like the evil bad boy that you're never going to change. And maybe that's true. But you need to ground the living shit out of yourself before you deal with either one of them. And this is going to be an ongoing thing throughout 2026. There is something intense that you're going to learn from both of them. And you need to learn it. You need to learn it. Because it coincides with this. With the Lilith energy and with the knowledge energy. So you want to know how your 2026 is going to go. This is a year of knowledge for you. And not the knowledge that 2025 brought. Not the knowledge that the year of the snake brought, okay? This is the knowledge of how to put all of that in motion. How to move you forward. How to get what you want. How to get where you want to go. And when I say get what you want, it's not like, oh, I want this. And it's not that. It's getting what you want. Like, you want to be financially stable. You want a good job. You want a nice house. You know what I mean? Like getting what you want. Like those kinds of things. Being a more... Ooh, somebody's talking about me. My nose is itching like a motherfucker all of a sudden. Hold on. Okay. I see you over there. Kelsey, this is a great year for you. I'm serious. The fact that Lilith and knowledge came up, this is a great, phenomenal, fantastic year for you. A fantastic year for you. What I really do want to reiterate, though, is do not discount either one of these guys, especially the set, because that's what you're going to want to do. This is like, you know, I want to be around them with that crazy, chaotic, you know, dark, divine, masculine energy. And that's exactly what that is, dark, divine, masculine. And then you also want to be, you really want to be around the other one because that is the divine masculine energy. Neither one of them are good and neither one of them are bad. You need them both. Ground the shit out of yourself before you deal with either one of them. I don't know if these are like relationship things or if these are just people in your life. But yeah, make sure that you're grounding the shit out of yourself, okay? This is going to be a phenomenal year for you. And I think that when you are sitting on New Year's Eve 2027 and looking back, you're going to see this as the year that you grew the most. I'm just letting you know. The year that in here you grew the most. And I really think that your entire 2026 is going to be dark, divine, feminine energy. I'm just saying. Your entire 2026. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Mods, you are free to mute away today. I have noticed that the co-reading is horrible today. I've also noticed that the trolls coming in and out, like, yeah. Y'all are free to mute away. And screenshot for me too, because I am happy to make some jars. In fact, I've got a couple I gotta make tonight. All right, Kelly is my last one for today. And then I will see you guys for the timeline funeral tonight. If you guys missed being a part of the last timeline funeral I did, you can see it on YouTube and kind of get an idea of what it is. And if you would like to be a part of that, this is the last one that I will do before the new year. So if you don't get in on it, then you don't get in on it. All right, Kelly. All right, Kelly L, because I want to make sure to Kelly Lawrence. What? Kelly just wants to know what will 2026 bring. You got it. Apparently me throwing the first card all the way down there, which wanted to land actually standing up. That's fucking awesome. Like it landed like this. This is the ageless. This is graciousness, learning, healing, acceptance. I find it interesting that that one needed to fly face up. And why I'm just turning them over as I'm... Okay. Well, you also have King Arthur, which is... I'm just still amazed. Like the way it landed down there was literally standing up. That's one of... I don't know that that's ever happened before. I fling cards on the floor all the time. This is a lot of healing. This is a lot of graciousness. But anyway, you have King Arthur, which is self-realization, nobility, companionship, championship. I'm going to see what card it is that lays on top of it. You know what I mean? And then you have the Red Shepherd, which is just reward, respite, rest, evaluation. I also find it very interesting that he has red on, he has red on, and he has red on. And all of these are masculine cards. The other thing I want to point out is this, and I've got to hold them up backwards so you guys can see this, okay? So you have King Arthur right here, right? And then as I'm looking at him, you have like this, and notice his staff, and he's leaning over like this. Okay, I held him out wrong. Hold on. There we go. I was holding him right. Notice his staff, and it's leaning like this. And then you have the red shepherd, and notice his staff, and it's going like this. So all of this energy in these cards is going like that. I noticed that too. I was like, wow, all right then. So this is always the staff on the left, and the staff is a symbol of like spiritual groundings, like not the lightning rod, but the stabilization of yourself spiritually. And then on the right over here, both hands are outstretched. He also has this on the left, the sword, and the hand outstretched on the right. Okay. See you over there, Kelly. You had a lot of cards try to come out. All right. There was that. So the one that I put over the Ageless and King Arthur to tie them together is Destiny, because of course it is. Because of course it is. And then from King Arthur over here to the Red Shepherd, underneath you have Blessed Day. Blessed Day. And then you have Safe Travel. Girl, if you don't book that trip. Okay. I find it truly interesting that I can't stop looking at, you know, the big things that are on the left of this card and the hand outstretched on the right. Healing, acceptance, self-realization, just reward, evaluation with the Destiny card. This is such an intense year for you. In a fantastic, phenomenal way. You've been manifesting time, space, a year, whatever, where you can rocket forward. You've been manifesting that. You've been manifesting and working on getting all of the roadblocks out. That's exactly what this upcoming year is. I think that whatever it was that you did over the last 2 weeks, has really busted open all of those last roadblocks that were sitting there in your way. Whatever it was you did. I don't know if this was a new moon thing, because that's about the you know, getting close to new moon, full moon time frame. Whatever it was you did really busted open all of those roadblocks that have been sitting there in your way. Now, here's the thing, because you have that damn Destiny card there. Let me tell you this. Getting on your path, getting on your destiny, getting fully both feet on that path is never ever something nice and calm and gentle and pretty. Now, does it have those times? Yes. But it is a rocket ship forward. Like, you're going so fast that you don't really have time to even see the flowers, much less stop and smell them. You're going so fast that you don't even know what day and what night it is, okay? It is an intense, massive, rocket forward type of energy when that Destiny card comes out. And that's your 2026. There's a lot of healing, a lot of acceptance of who you are, what you've been through, why you're there, where you're going. It's a lot of that. It's also a lot of you realizing that you are in a way better situation than you gave yourself credit for, in all the ways. Not just physically, right? But mentally, emotionally. And that in turn opens up an amazing aspect for you to finally get your spiritual self back in order. The Red Shepherd, the just reward, the blessed day, the safe travel. Girl, go travel. Go do something. Plan some trips this year. Even if it's just across town to a free place to go hike. I don't care. Start doing stuff. Get out and explore wherever you can explore. And if you have been trying to plan a trip, a vacation or whatever, just plan it. Just do it. 2026 is the year. Plan the vacation. Do the thing. Do the thing. This is definitely the year of Kelly. This is definitely the year of Kelly. This is also a no nonsense, no hold bar type of thing. No nonsense. You manifested it. You've been asking for it. You've been clearing the roadblocks. Here it comes. I do love that that's the Destiny card right there, though. I do love that that's the Destiny card right there, because that tells me that all of those roadblocks you felt like were there 100% were there. 100% were there. And I love it. I absolutely love this. Go travel. Go do some things. Go do some stuff. Enjoy life. Okay? Miss Kelly. Yours was a little short and sweet because there's a lot of symbolism in yours. A lot of symbolism of you moving forward. And before I start to, close out, I just want to say that I'm proud of you, Kelly, because what this also tells me is that you did a lot of work with opening up those roads. You did a lot of work with ensuring that where you were going is where you needed to go. You did a lot of divination. You did a lot of clarity work. You did a lot of inner child work. You did a lot of shadow work. You did all the things, Kelly. And I just want to say I'm proud of you for that. Most people don't put in that type of effort. And that's why 2026 is going to be fantastic. And that's why 2026 is going to be something that allows you to absolutely rocket forward like you should do. And I am here for it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So, yeah. I see some of you guys just coming on. Are the sigils all booked up? No, there are still a few of those left. Oh, you're welcome, Kelly. I didn't know if you were still here. You are so welcome, sugar. I'm glad you were here and I got to tell you that I'm proud of you in person via the camera, but in person. I will start being on almost every day about noon, 1 o'clock, sometimes a little bit earlier. It's just going to depend. If you guys missed it earlier, I mentioned that I had a really hardcore, well, I didn't mention this part, but I had a really hardcore talk with myself. And for the last 5 years, I have lived on TikTok every single night almost. I have given up all kinds of time with friends and family and missed events and things like that. And this year, I'm going to take those evening nights back a little bit. I will still be on for Reiki and Zodiacs. Don't think I won't. But I am going to take some time for me. You know what I mean? I've got to spend some time with family and friends. So anyway, with that, I am going to get off of here. I will see you guys tonight, though, for Timeline Funeral. Yeah, I'll see it tonight for Timeline Funeral. You didn't see it on my page for the sigils. It is under the, hang on and I can tell you. It is under the 2026 Cosmic Destiny Forecast. That's where those sigils are. So yeah. All right. I love you guys. I will see you this evening. And then don't forget tomorrow, big product launch, big product drop, big product launch, etc. So don't forget. It'll be fun.